My name is Alex Silas Sen from the Faculty of Business Management under the Department of Leadership and Governance. We'll continue with the second knowledge area 2 concerning performance management, that is OLG 117. Knowledge area 2 concerning performance management is all about reviewing performance management, assessing performance management, and improving performance management, improving the performance. So you review the performance of your employees or yourself, then you assess the performance, then you improve the performance. In this session, the course presents and discusses the key continuous processes or activities in effective performance management, that is reviewing, assessing, improving performance. This provides a focal point for the consideration in development issues. And this lecture, this section are reviewing performance management, reviewing and assessing processes, assessing performance, and improving performance. Let's begin or commence with reviewing performance. Although performance management is a continuous process, it is still necessary to have a common or a formal review once or twice a year. This provides a focal point for the consideration of key performance and development issues. Performance management is a continuous, as we have said earlier, but you have now to make a review of it once or twice a year. You review your performance. That is called performance management. The performance reviewing meeting of the whole process of performance of your employees at the organization is that the performance review meeting is the means through which the 5 primary performance management elements of agreement, measurement, feedback, positive reinforcement, and dialogue can be put into good use. Those are the key elements of performance management. All those key elements can be put within the review meeting. The review meeting should be rooted in the reality of the employee's performance, what the employee have been doing, acting, or how the employees have been responsible or responding to what their responsibility and duties. It is concrete, not abstract, and it allows now managers and individuals to take a positive look together at how performance can become better in the future and how any problem can be solved. That is reviewing meeting. It's very important as it includes all the employees with their managers or their supervisors. Individuals should be encouraged now to assess their own performance and become active agents for change. So whenever a failure is encountered of performing the activities, now individuals should be encouraged. Within that meeting, the individual should be encouraged. We have said reviewing should be done twice or once a year. So within that now, this encourages now the individual to assess their own performance and become active agent change in improving their results. Also, there should be no surprises in a formal review. If performance issues have been dealt with as they should have been, as they arise during the year. Traditional appraisal are often no more than an analysis of where those involvement are now and where they have come from. So within that meeting, performance or reviewing meeting, this issue should not be a surprise, as everyone is aware what has been happening in the whole process when managing performance management. This static and historical approach is not what performance management is about. The truth about this is the role of performance management is to look forward to what needs to be done by the people to achieve the purpose of the job. What should be done? If it is unclear, if it is there is a knowledge gap or skills gap, should be improved enough. A training should happen or should be done to the employees. Now let us look on the performance review difficulties. Despite how this performance review is good, but there are some difficulties. In traditional merit or performance appraisal scheme, the annual appraisal meeting was the key event. In fact, in most cases, the only event in the system. But line managers were often highly skeptical about the process, which felt was impossible or imposed them by the personnel department. But Michael Beer and Robert Root identified three main sources of difficulty in conducting performance reviews. These are difficulties very crucial to be, or very vital to be understood by the students, as now we are training you now to move forward, to be managers, to be employees in diverse organizations, that you may know and come aware of this. When you're reviewing performance management, you can account this problem, and then it becomes easier for you now to solve or to deal with that problem. The first and foremost difficulty is the quality of the relationship between the manager and the individual. The quality of the relationship between the manager and the individual. Unless there is a mutual trust and understanding the perception of both parties, may be that the performance review is doubting experience in which hostility and resistance are likely to emerge. So this is a comprehensive issue, but the quality relationship is very important, that a manager and individual should now have a good relationship for this review to be good. The other difficulty is the manner and the skill with which the interview is conducted. The manner and the skill. Are they both have the skills on conducting the meeting, so that they may make a proper review of their performances between the manager and the individual. The other is the review process itself, its purpose, methodology, and documentations. How these issues are very well organized. Performance review issues. When we talk about performance review issues, in this lecture now, we are going now to explore some issues that to be resolved in handling these difficulties. Now, what should be done? Which issues can help us to solve these issues that have been raised in difficulties in reviewing process upon the performance management. Difficulties, the approach that can be used to conduct effective review. It ends with a discussion of self and assessment as part of the review process. The main issues concerning performance reviews are why have them at all? Why have them at all? Then, if they are necessary, what are the objectives of reviewing performances? What are the organizational issues? On whom should the performance review focus? On what should they focus? What criteria should be used to review performance? What impact does management style make on the performance review? What skills are required? Very crucial, very important. What skills are required to conduct a review, and how can they be developed? Those are the issues that we have to bear in mind. Why have performance review? Why have performance review? Why we should have this performance review? So when you get the how, the why, it is easier to get the how. The answer to this question is, of course, that managers have no choice. Reviewing performance is an inherent part of their role. The question should be rephrased as, are formal review necessary as performance management activities to supplement the continuous informal process of monitoring performance? That's the question that we have to dare to it, and see how we can respond as we are preparing, to be good employees, to be good staffs with a good behavior, with high standards of performance. The argument for formal review is that it provides a focal point for the consideration of key performance, motivation, and development issues. It is a means for considering the future. It is the means. Formal performance review, it is the means for considering the future in the light of an understanding of the past. It answers the two and fundamental question of where have we got to, and where are we going. So the past, the present, and the future, those comprises all in performance review. It gives managers with their teams and the individual members of their staff the opportunity to pause after the hurry burry of everyday life and reflect on the key issues of personal development and personal improvement. Those all through performance review, it is easier now to view the past, and sometimes it helps now to make some decisions, how to perform decision making properly through this performance review. It is a means. The question is why we have performance review, and then not only performance review should be formal, as it focuses to see what we have been doing, to see now current what we are doing, to see what the future will provide to us when we perform the activity or our duty and responsibility properly. That is performance review, and it is very, very vital as an employee to be known to employees and the managers. It is a means of ensuring that a two-way communication on issues concerning work can take place, and it provides the basis for future work and development plans. So before you plan now, through this performance review, it is easier and it gives you now the picture, or to see in the future, to just see the future clearly through performance review. Formal reviews do not supplement informal or interim progress review, but they can complement and enhance them, and therefore have an important part to play in performance management. Objective of performance reviews. Objective of performance review. Objective, the goal. The objective or goals or aims of reviewing performance are as follows. 1. The first objective is planning. Planning through performance review, it plays an important role in planning, as it provides the basis for reformulating the performance agreement. Those agreements that you have formulated in the past, now through performance review, you can reformulate them now and make a proper correction, and the performance and development plans incorporated in it, the previous. The other issue or the other objective is motivation. Through performance review, the aim of it is to provide the positive feedback, recognition, praise for whoever has done it properly, whoever has achieved the expectation that were in the previous agreement, and the growth and praise, and also give some opportunities to grow or for growth. That's career development. To clarify expectations, to empower people by encouraging them to take control over their own performance, learning and development. The other objective is learning and development. To provide. Now, here, performance review provides the basis for self-managing learning and development through coaching and other learning activities of the abilities relevant to both the current role and any future role of the employees may have the potential to carry out. That is fantastic. This aspect of development is even more important in the organization. The other issue is communication. The other objective in performance review is communication. Through performance review, it serves as two-way channel for communication about roles, about expectations, objective and competence requirements, skills, knowledge, relationships between the employees, between their group mates, their teammates, between their supervisors, and also between their managers or their senior, work problems and aspirations. That is the objective of performance performance review, as we have seen previous. Now let's look on the organizational issues. To have any chance of success, the objective and the methodology of performance review should either be in harmony with the organization culture, or they be introduced deliberate or planned as a lever for change, moving from culture of management by command to one of the management by consent. So they make agreement between the two, or the two sides, and the officers act as a bridge between the top management and the core and the technical core of the organization. Performance management and review process can help to achieve culture change, but only if the change is managed vigorously from the top and every effort and every end of the organization. On whom should the performance reviews focus? On whom? Now, we have seen. Now, this performance review should focus where? Or to who the performance review should focus? Many performance management and review systems seem to focus almost exclusively on the upper and the lower extremes of the performance distribution, neglecting the core of the middle of the load and the performance on the whom the organization relies to function effectively. Day to day. This is illogical. Now there are some issues. Performance review should be focused now in every angle of the organization, from the middle supporters, from the technical core, from the seniors, from the executives. All these issues should be included as for the better results of the performance review. On what should the performance review meeting focus? These are the questions that now we are trying now to respond to make us gain more knowledge concerning performance review. There are two focus issues in the performance review meeting. First, on the emphasis that should be placed on the performance improvement as distinct from the broader development needs. The second, on what should the performance review meeting focus? The second is on the degree to which the meeting should be forward rather than backward looking. These are the two emphases that performance review meeting should focus. That first, the performance improvement, and the second is should focus on forward rather than backward, blaming each other. But now we have to be problem solvers together. That means helping people to widen their range of abilities, multi skills, shop floor items to enable them to meet the demands of the future change. Now let's check the criteria for performance management. The criteria for assessing performance should be balanced between achievement in relation to objective. Now, these are the important issues to note when assessing performance. The level of knowledge and skills possessed and applied, that is competence, day-to-day effectiveness. The criteria should not be limited to a few quantified objectives, so should be broader. Now let us see and check assessing performance. We have seen reviewing performance. Now let's check assessing performance. Performance management is forward-looking. It focuses on planning the future rather than dwelling on the past. That's very important to note and find. But it is necessary to include some of the form of assessment of what has been achieved, to provide of what the result, what was the output of the past. So it should now be included inside. The factors affecting assessment. The factors affecting assessment. There are some factors that affect assessment. Assessment requires the ability to judge performance, and a good judgment is a matter of using clear standards, considering only relevant evidence, combining probabilities in their correct weight, and avoiding projection. That is assessment requires in general. Most managers think they are good judges of people. That's the factor affecting assessment. They think that they are superior than them. They think that they are better than them. That's a problem in assessing performance. Most managers think they are good judges of people. So that's a news to us as students, as the future employees, or other that are being employed, that if you are a manager, or you are an officer, or a supervisor, or a senior, you should not think that you are better or good judges than all people. That is the factor that affecting assessment. The halo or horns effect can apply when the manager is aware of some prominent or recent examples of good or poor performance and assumes from this that this is the issue, should be judged like that. Other problems include poor perception. Some managers or some officers have poor perceptions for not seeing things or events for what they are. Selectivity, relying on partial data, and not seeing only things one wants to see. But as a manager now, you have now, when you are assessing this performance, you have now to be wider. You open your minds, you open your eyes, you have a good relationship with people in order to get more issues. Now, the issue comes, how to overcome these problems. It is necessary to, 1, ensure that the concept of performance and what constitutes good and not so good performance is understood by all concerned, managers and employees. Now, the do's and don'ts should be known to all. That's important to overcome these difficulties or the factors affecting assessment in performance management. Encourage managers to define and agree standards and measures of effectiveness. So before now you go on or you go to perform your responsibility, you have now to make sure that there is an agreement or define the standards on what you are doing and what we expect to achieve. The other is encourage and train people to avoid jumping to conclusion too quickly. The other one is provide managers with practice in exercising judgment. Methods of assessment. Let's see now a look on methods. There are 7 ways of assessing performance. 1 is overall analysis of performance. Overall, it's sometimes assumed that the only way to assess performance is by a rating system. In practice, an overall assessment is a form assessment as it will reveal strengths and possibly weakness, which indicate where development can usefully take place. That's the first method of assessment, overall analysis of performance. The second is written assessment, narrative of performance. A narrative assessment is simply a written summary of views about the levels of performance achieved. That is the other issue that we have to note now. The third method is rating, as this indicates the quality of performance of competence achieved or displayed by the employees by selecting the levels of a scale. That's rating. A rating scale is supposed to assist in making judgment, and it enables those judgments to be categorized into form performance. That is the third performance assessment. The other one is forced distribution. This forced distribution is all about, means that managers have to confirm to a laid down distribution of rating between different levels. And the fifth one is forced ranking. Now, let us come to the end of our session today, that assessment is necessary and inevitable performance management activity, but it is one of the most difficult ones to get right. Attempts to use mechanistic methodologies involving rating or ranking often prove of doubtful value. So, involvement of both parties is very important. Administrative staffs, technical staffs, core technical staffs, and the seniors officers should not be involved, as we have seen in the whole process of assessing, reviewing performance management. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next session.